Hey everybody, today we're taking a look at the Sigma 6 H.I.S.S tank, criminally underrated. I mean, just look at all the stuff it comes with, all the different things you can do. It is awesome. Other cool vehicles in the line. There's the Dragonhawk. I do have a video on that. Should you want to check out more of this too small but very cool G.I. Joe line. You can see it's got classic H.I.S.S tank stylings here. Really, the only downside to me is the red color, which I would love to paint. Look, even the underside, they bothered to put some molding under there. Great detail. I think it'd look awesome in black with some dry brushing. The figures, though, this is probably what really people think of negatively. These are essentially statues with very little posability and just kind of generally suck. But they are the right size for me. In addition to the figures, we do have a bunch of cool stuff here. We got some missile launchers, 2 different types, and 4 missiles that go with them. We do have some railings, which we'll show in a second. And we got, of course, a flag. You got to have a flag, a black flag. Great band. And let's see here. So, modularity and functionality. You can move the cockpit down like this. You might think to yourself, why would you want to do that? I wouldn't do it that often myself, but it's cool. It's a thing you can do. Do have a rotating turret here, and these guns actually should have counted in the accessories because you can pop them out, and they are actually handheld weapons. Not that the Sigma 6 figures hold them very well, but they are nicely molded. Again, some dry brush should really do that up right. Do have a a door here to load people up into the troop compartment, and we can get a great look at the troop compartment by taking advantage of this segment detaching here from the top. It's usually easier than this. I'm just clumsy. There we go. And there you can see nicely detailed, nicely painted for something that is relatively small in scale. But we'll get more into that in a second. Let's take a look at this top piece that we popped off. It does open, so it can become kind of like a little fort, and the turret has these little flip down feet so that it can be a standalone weapon system. How cool is that? They even painted the sides, so that kind of attention to detail they just don't do anymore. On this, it does have these flip up little panels. Oops. They do pop off relatively easy, so you could remove them if you want to, but anyway, so there you go. You got like a barrier, you got a turret, put your little flag on there. It's awesome. Love it. All right, getting back to the main body here, we can take these little rails. They're keyed so they only go in one way, and you can set them up on the sides here as sort of like guardrails, handrails for troops. You don't necessarily have to put them in there, but pop off this ramp, and then you've got sort of a like a open air loading bay, which if you pop this down, hey, it's kind of a Cobra truck, which does roll on these nice little wheels, but it's like a Cobra H.I.S.S truck, so you gotta kind of love that for the redneck Cobra troopers. Options are good, so if we pop off these rails, we can actually use some of these mounting points, and boom, missile launchers. Very cool. You can see there's a lot of different spots you can put them, and I love these missile launchers. These are old school, spring loaded. They got a nice kick to them. It's the same button that shoots both, and on sometimes when I push it, both fire. Let's see. Nope, one at a time. Oh well. Anyway, nicely done. Like it. All right, back in our full-on tank mode, and here's the little, flip-ups you can do if you want to have troops, shooting from inside the troop compartment. Speaking of compartments, here is the cockpit. Let me see if I can. There you go. You can see it has some decent detail. It'd be nice to have a control column, but the way that these figures are not articulated makes it, limited in terms of what you can do. The gun's part of the mold, so it doesn't come out. But he does fit nicely in there. Although, what I like to do is take one of these new page punchers from McFarlane Toys. Super dig these. And our old Crimson Guard here will nicely fit right in here and look, in my opinion, way better in that cockpit than the, sort of anonymous Cobra driver. Similarly, the Cobra Commander from Page Punchers, he's just beefier. He's not, super thin. He doesn't have a weird bendy staff. It's just, I don't know. There's no comparison. If the figures had been like this when Sigma 6 came out originally, I think maybe would have been a little more successful. Not a huge amount of articulation, but look, there you go. Already looks way better than Sigma 6 has any right to. But these are the figures it came with, so there you go. Now, taking a look at some of the insignia here, these are paint tampos. I wish it had some paint here up front, but again, I'm going to customize mine, but I wanted to give you a good look at what it looks like stock before I did anything to it. Also, at some point, I'm going to put these stickers on. Particularly, I love these fire extinguishers because, Cobra. Safety first. And here's this sticker sheet, shows you where they all go. It also comes with a instruction sheet. Tells you all the different things you can do with it, where everything goes, different ways of playing and interacting with this thing. It's actually just really cool, and I love these blueprints. I always forget G.I. Joe did this. It's one of the things I love about it. It appeals to the, sort of realism where you buy into it. Here he is in scale. It's roughly 1/24 scale. That's why I like it. Of course, I do. Here it is with a Scion XB, an anonymous Scion Xbox. There you go. So you can see how it would look driving down a highway in the early 2000s. And hey, I guess that's just about everything I got to say about this very cool, very rarely covered piece of kit. I really enjoy it. I think it's awesome. I think it looks great, especially with these page punchers. So I recommend it if you are into the scale. If you collect normal Joe stuff, then it's going to be way too small, which is sad because I think it's one of the better G.I. Joe toys that I have messed with. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Until next time.